Good morning and welcome to T&K Visser Farms. So today is hopefully the day that we get some actual field work done. So I'm just gonna shut this up. No. Shut that off. Actually, unplug that so there's no, I know for sure then there's no current running through it. So yeah, like I said, we got fertilizer coming this afternoon, hopefully. He said if everything goes well, then we're gonna get that incorporated with, we're actually gonna use the big cultivator and the crumbler. So we'll see how that goes. Close that. Climb up here. That did start a little slow. Push the clutch in so it gets the transmission going. So yeah, the first thing we're gonna seed is we're gonna seed about 75 acres of wheat. And hopefully, if we can get it fertilized today, get it worked tonight, and then we'll get started seeding that tomorrow. And then we have 3 days of rain. So that'll be good for the seed that's in the ground, not good for the rest of the ground, but what do you do? I'll just be happy to have something in. And then I'm thinking next week, I have some other, or the ground that I'm gonna put the soybeans is pretty close to ready, so I'm gonna turn around, get the drills ready for that, and let her fly. Throw some 06 Pioneers in the ground and see how that goes. Oh, the boss is here. I better look like I'm doing something. So we're gonna try anyway, all we can do. But I'm excited. I'm really excited to get going, get some seed moving. The tender's full. I think I said that before. Fertilizer guy said it's still on track for this afternoon. Let's try it. We decided not to use that tractor. Figured since we're selling it, we can just use mine. So what we're gonna do is incorporate the fertilizer, and I just got a text that they'll be here within a couple of hours. So we're gonna use that cultivator to incorporate the fertilizer, and then we're gonna go hook up to the big cultivator in the back, tie on to that with the crumbler, and just set it light enough that we're using the drag and the crumbler to cover up the tracks but not work the ground over again. So that's what we're gonna do, and it's gonna, what that crumbler is gonna do is it's gonna make a nice fluffy and firm, do those even belong in the same sentence? But it's gonna make a nice fluffy firm seed bed. So this, it'll let the drill go through a lot better. It'll firm up the seed trench and let the packing wheels do their jobs. So that's what we're gonna do there. Yeah, just playing the waiting game right now, just getting some odd jobs done here and there. I think I'll go take the battery charger off of the semi, get that closed up, get the battery charger wrapped up and put away. I'm trying to think. What time is it? 10:40? Yeah. I think we should be good other than that. So, yeah. Let's go do that. Let's go unhook the battery charger. That should be plenty charged by now. We are moving. We are headed to the field. The fertilizer has come. We are going to work that fertilizer in and get ready to seed. So let's see where the day takes us here. We're moving. We're in the field. Ta-da! The auto steer's doing its job. Good old egg leader. The floater's moving. I think he's actually about done. The cultivator's doing a pretty decent job. Oh yeah. It's all falling together. Make the ground snow white. Oh, this is beautiful. What a day. What a beautiful, beautiful day. Could be a little sunnier, but I'll take it. I'll take no rain. We got a small chance of rain here at 5 o'clock, but we'll get this fertilizer incorporated. See the floater's leaving. He must be done. Yeah, life is good. Life is really, really good right now. Look at that straight line. Oh man, I love this. I love this. This is great. Now I don't know what to do. Sit here and talk to a camera, I suppose. But anyway, I gotta turn. So right now we are using what's called a field cultivator. So this field cultivator has sweeps on it. They're, I believe these are 9-inch sweeps, and I bought it that way. I plan on putting 7-inch sweeps on it for next time I use it. But it's got 9-inch sweeps on it, and what these sweeps do is they just level off the hills that you see here from the chisel plow to make a nice seed bed. It's a little lumpier than I'd like it to be, but for how this year is going, we're gonna take what we can get. I'm thinking about when I'm done cultivating here, I might tie on to the drag or take the drag and just do a quick once over here and see what that does. Hopefully maybe get some of those lumps to break up, make an even nicer seed bed yet. But for now, it's doing a pretty decent job. I'm a big fan of how it's turning out for this year. Field conditions are pretty good. I'd love to let this sit an extra day and run over it with the crumbler, but we don't have an extra day. So I'll leave this sit overnight and it'll mellow out and we will seed it tomorrow. But right now, things are going good. Things are going really good. I was a little skeptical if this tractor could pull this cultivator, but it's doing it just fine. The only thing I don't like is this cultivator doesn't have a rear hitch, and I like to be able to put a coil packer or a crumbler on the back end of this when I want to use one, but that's not a big deal either. We can figure that out later on. But for now, she's doing what she's supposed to be doing. And so is this auto steer system. I'm a big fan. So we just break the steer there. Come along the edge. Lift up, because this is where I played around yesterday, so I don't want to work that up too many times. We'll put it down a little further than that though. And then we will whip around here. Make a big enough circle so that it doesn't leave wheel tracks. That's another thing I don't necessarily like with this cultivator is the wheels are so far out. If you turn around, it leaves tracks. And right now what we're trying to do is make a nice seed bed, so that's a bummer. But she's working good. Otherwise, come back in. get somewhat centered up with where I was yesterday. Try and stay away from that ditch. Yeah, she's doing a nice job. And it's working about the depth that I want, about 1.5 inches, 2 inches. So that'll be good. We'll put the wheat seed in about 1 inch. Drop that down. And we're off. We're off to the races. Oh yeah, that's just, oh, dust. I never thought I'd see dust again. Oh man, this is wonderful. Auto steer is a fairly new thing to me, and this is fantastic. It's really like, you know, instead of having to fight with the steering wheel on these bumps and have a crooked, wavy field, I have nice straight lines, except for a little mistake up there. But otherwise, I'm a big fan of what this is doing. There goes the neighbor. Nice. I think that's a 620 quad track. I get mixed up between who has a 600 and who has a 620. You don't know it yet, but I'm gonna rent that unit. I'm hoping if he's not too busy with it by the time I come to my bean ground down the road. It got a little stringy with wheat last year, so I asked him if I could rent that quad track and Versatile Fury. So we'll see what happens when the time comes, but I'm hoping to maybe plant some beans next week early if the weather shapes up and cooperates with me. But right now we're gonna focus on getting the wheat in the ground, getting this all worked up, and yeah, just keep on keeping on. I'm gonna keep going back and forth here. Looks like I think we've done about 16 acres. So yeah, stay tuned. A couple small issues, nothing big, just gotta hop out and fix them. Oh. That's a good chance to make sure everything's looking all right. I saw a couple tines back here sticking straight up in the air, so yeah, like this one. There we go. Now she's fixed. Oh, Jesus, Martha. Okay, now we're all good to go. So this is gonna be a wheat field. So wheat takes a lot of nitrogen. That's what this white stuff is. Right there. That is called prilled urea, and it's a 46%. It's got a 46% analysis. So what that means, it is 46% nitrogen. Okay. Get back on the road. Ooh, America. Roll a little coal. Get that up to about, I've been riding right around low to mid 1800s. So that's 46% nitrogen. I also, I had 235 pounds to the acre of that spread. So the analysis I wanted was a 120, 40, 50, 10, 1. So that is a 120 of N, 40 of phosphate, 50 of 50%, 50 units of potash, 10 of sulfur, and 1 unit of zinc. So the products I spread are urea is the big one. That's the one you tend to spread the most of for wheat. And then mez, which is the 12, 40, 0, 10, 1. It's micro essentials, sulfur, zinc in place. And I know a lot, it depends. I think different forms of that are DAP, diammonium phosphate, and MAP, monoammonium phosphate, which is what I used to use, which has an analysis of 11,520. So I used to sell mez, and I liked what I saw in mez versus MAP in putting those, you know, that sulfur and zinc back into the ground, because a lot of people tend to overlook the micronutrient side of farming. And I didn't. I wanted to kind of innovate and be a little bit different, and that's why I decided to spread mez. So I spread urea, mez, and potash. Potash being my potassium, and the potash I believe is 62% potassium. So that's a little general overview of fertilizer. I went to college for agronomy, so I had a little bit of a base in it, but I didn't really know it until I worked in the agronomy field, and then that's when I really learned the ins and outs of fertilizer, how to read an analysis, how to come up with a blend, how to figure out what you want spread in your field. I like to go off of soil tests, but I didn't but I didn't have time to get this stuff tested. So I spread a good amount of fertilizer out here. It was like 235 pounds of N or urea, 100 pounds of mez, and 80 pounds of potash. So I spread a solid amount of fertilizer out here, not knowing, you know, what was in the ground. But starting this year, I will soil test all of my stuff myself, send it into AgVice in North Dakota. Yeah. And then I'll get my soil test back and interpret that, maybe bring it to another agronomist and get a second opinion. Figure out where to go with what I have. There we go. Figure out where to go with what's in the ground, and then we'll spread based on that. So I don't know. Seems to be working. We'll see. I'm really excited to try it. I'm trying a different kind of wheat. This is the first time we've ever used mez. Grandpa used to use something similar to it. I believe it was called S10. It was sulfur. And this is the most fertilizer I've spread in 5 years of farming. Otherwise, before I ran with like a 75 pounds of MAP, 50 pounds of potash type of blend, and that seemed to work. It got me a decent crop, but I want to see what pushing that number will do for me. Will it help me in the long run? Will it pay to spread more fertilizer with how the market is going right now, with how the fertilizer market is going right now? I don't know. We'll see. You guys are gonna find out. But just thought I'd kind of explain what I'm doing and the reason we cultivate, or I think I said this already. I said that it was to even out the ridges from the chisel plow. But yeah, so I'm just, you know, life is great. Life is good. We're moving back and forth. From what I understand, supper's coming, and I need to turn around. So yeah, I don't remember where I left off. I think I was talking about fertilizer. But yeah, my whole goal this year is to learn about my farm, learn what I can do, learn what kind of crop this ground can produce. You know, is it worth putting so much extra into it? Like I put together, or got a buddy from the co-op I buy my fertilizer from. We put together a pretty, you know, I think it's a pretty bulletproof chemical program for this year, and it includes a couple of different micronutrient packages that reduce chemical burn and whatnot. I don't know, I'm really excited to see it. So that's, you know, I was really hoping to get a crop in the ground and get this stuff growing so I can get spraying. But oh man, that is a beautiful seed bed. Absolutely gorgeous. I don't know, do I dare put the camera on the cultivator? That seems risky. That seems very risky. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'm gonna keep going back and forth. I'm gonna stop jibber-jabbering. I think I'm jibber-jabbering too much. But yeah, this is fun. Little update. I'm in a different tractor. So Grandpa's working with mine right now. Oh boy, going through a wet spot. So the ground circumstances this year are pretty tough. It's got a pretty hard layer of crust over the top, and I've been fighting that in recent hours. So we tried the crumbler behind the loader tractor, and that just didn't work at all. wanted to leave more track than crumble. And I don't have a rear hitch on my cultivator, and I don't have the power to pull anything behind it anyway. So we were talking and just decided, let's hook up this tractor to the cultivator. We ran over it twice with a cultivator with him running right behind me, and he said that was looking a lot better. So we're gonna give that a try. Is it gonna work? It might. I'm not sure. I gotta get out and take a look here. But anyway, we're gonna try. So if anyone knows of a mid-30s, I'd say 30 to 36 foot field cultivator out there for sale with a rear hitch, preferably John Deere, but I'll look at other brands. I just like how the John Deeres are built the best. Or not the best, but my personal preference is I like how the John Deere cultivators are built. They just seem to be built a little bit tougher. But if anyone knows of a 30 to 36 foot field cultivator with a rear hitch out there, I would be more than interested to know about it. Because I think 41 feet, it was cheap and I needed one, so that's what I ended up with. But I think I need something smaller that tractor can pull a little bit more effectively, because I put it a little bit deeper and that just didn't work at all. So if anyone knows, feel free to shoot me a message or let me know. But I'll be looking after spring here. But anyway, I don't have much more going on tonight. I'll probably come back on if something interesting happens, but that's not looking terribly likely at this moment. So thank you for watching. If you like what we're doing, feel free to subscribe and like the video. I appreciate anything and everything that the viewers do, and yeah, thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one. Have a fantastic night. And actually, we'll probably see you tomorrow because we're going to seed some wheat. So we're going to get that done. So thank you for watching.